Good morning, guys. What we're going to start getting into now that we finished Newton's laws of motion is the law of conservation of energy. And this is basically the idea that you can't create energy and you can't destroy it. It just gets transformed and from one form to another. From the video yesterday that we saw, the main two that they talked about was actually potential energy and kinetic energy. And when you're watching that, what you should have got is that kinetic energy was only occurring when things were moving, whereas potential energy, although it wasn't moving, it had the potential to move, and the amount of potential energy it had depended on either what type it was and its location as well as its mass. So let's go ahead and jump on and go over some of those problems from yesterday so that might make a little more sense. All right, we're going to do a little scenario here. Now the giant is all the way on the top of this cliff. He's really, really high up, and because he has a very high position, he has a very high potential energy. I'm just going to put 100 joules just because it's an easy number, okay? Now we're going to pretend he's not moving, he's just sitting up there with a potential energy of 100 joules. Now if he's not moving at all, that means he has zero kinetic energy. You only have kinetic energy if there's movement. Now he falls, and as he falls, one of two things happen. His height is going to decrease, and if his height decreases, so does his potential energy, because his potential energy is based on how high up he is, where his position is. So we're going to say it goes down to about 50 joules. Now, energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. That missing 50 had to go somewhere else. Now, it's not going to be exactly 50, since there's going to be air resistance and heat loss and all that. But just for this example, we'll go ahead and say he has a kinetic energy of 50, because 50 plus 50 is 100, which is exactly what we started off with. It's the idea that 100 joules doesn't disappear. It had to go somewhere, okay? So as he's falling down, he's losing height. That's why his potential energy went down. However, he gained kinetic energy because he's moving, and he's moving faster and faster. He's accelerating. As he continues to fall, however, he's still losing his position. So we'll say that 50, that's going to go down too. Let's say it goes down to 20 joules. Okay? So what do you think his kinetic energy would be? Because he's going to be speeding up as he falls. Well, if energy cannot be destroyed, just transformed, then 20 plus what would be 100, which is what we started off with. It would be 80. Now when he hits the floor though, however, that kinetic energy is going to go back to 0, and his potential energy is going to be 0 because he's got no height. So where did it go? It transformed into something else, which we'll talk about tomorrow. We're really just going to concentrate on the potential energies types today. However, you need to understand that they transform from one energy type to another. So this part of the video also explained what we just talked about now. So as he's at the bottom, he throws the rock, and as he's throwing it, something happened to the kinetic energy. It said it slowed down because the force of gravity is pushing against it. So as the kinetic energy went down, what happened to the potential energy? Well, as the rock's flying up, you'll notice it has a really high height, and that's why he had a lot of potential energy. The higher the rock is, the more potential it has to fall. However, the slower the rock goes, the lower kinetic energy. But you'll notice that kinetic energy turned into potential. The second that rock hit really high, it had no kinetic energy anymore because it wasn't moving anymore for like that slight second. But that was also the highest the rock can go before it starts to go back down. And as it goes back down, its kinetic energy will increase, but its potential energy will go down because it's going to lose height. So if you look at gravitational potential energy, what it is the main part here is it is stored energy. All right, and this is based on actually it's three things. The gravitational acceleration, which is normally right about 9.8 meters per second squared. But the other two big factors are going to be the mass of the object as well as its position or height. So in that last example, we are talking about the height of the giant. The higher up the mountain he was, the more potential energy he had. The higher the rock was, the more the potential energy he had. So based on this little problem here, I wonder if they're all the same cart, so they have the same mass, which one of these carts has the most gravitational potential energy? Remember, the higher it is, the more gravitational potential energy there is. In this scenario, you have two skiers. We are going to pretend they have the exact same mass. So if they have the same mass, which one of these two skiers has a greater gravitational potential energy? Well, if they have the same mass, basically I'm asking you this. Which one's higher up? Whichever one is higher up has a greater gravitational potential energy, assuming they have the same mass. So the bottom right here, I have a picture of this little blue guy walking up the stairs. As he's walking up the stairs, he's gaining potential energy. All right? So if I put a little stick figure guy, we'll pretend, that's a highlighter, a little stick figure guy here, and we look at the blue guy up here, between those two, which one has a greater potential energy, gravitational potential energy? Well, if they're the exact same mass, you would say the blue one because he's higher up. However, the formula to find that is mass times the gravity times the height. What if this yellow guy here was like a sumo wrestler and he had a really, 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 really big mass? Which one would have a greater gravitational potential energy now? Well, I don't know. You'd have to do the math. So let's do one example of math to figure out this kind of scenario. All right, so I've got a yellow guy who has a higher mass, so I wrote down 20 kilograms, versus the blue guy has a mass of 10 kilograms. Obviously, it's not realistic to them. They're just nice, clean numbers. Okay? So if I asked you which one had a greater gravitational potential energy, most of you would probably say the blue guy because he's higher up. However, he has less mass, so he might still, but maybe not. You have to go to the equation. So if the equation is mass times 9.8 times height, the blue guy would be 10 times 9.8, because 10 is the mass, and his height, I said right here, he's 100 meters up. So from here to here would be 100 meters, so times 100. That would be his equation. Now, the yellow guy, it's the same thing, except for this time his mass is 20, so 20 kilograms times 9.8 meters per second squared. That's supposed to represent gravity, by the way. That's the rate that things fall. But I said for him, he's 75 meters up. So when you do the math, whatever you get, whichever one has the higher number has the greater potential energy. So you let me know which one has the greater gravitational potential energy. However, there are other types of potential energies. There's another type called chemical potential energy, and this is once again stored energy. It's something stored inside of you from the chemical bonds of a substance. So you'll notice that things can break down and turn into energy. So for instance, breast milk, when you feed it to a baby, it gives them the energy to not only grow, but to move. Okay, if you do not put this type of potential energy into the baby, it won't have the potential to grow, it won't have the potential to move. Remember, think about what happens to you if you don't eat. You get weaker, and you get weaker, and you get weaker, and you don't have any stored energy to use. Your body breaks down the chemical bonds that are inside of the food. So that's where the chemical bonds part comes. If you think of a campfire as well, there's stored energy in wood. Otherwise, when you burn it, you wouldn't be able to create heat, because thermal energy is another type of energy. That chemical potential energy can turn into thermal energy. And that thermal energy, if you think about it, they can be used to heat a hot air balloon, which is another form of kinetic energy. And the bottom one, dynamite. There's a bunch of chemicals put inside of it, and when you cause a reaction, these chemicals, they break down or they cause an explosion, and then look what it does. Okay? There's a lot of potential energy stored in different things based on their chemical bonds. Another type would be like elastic potential energy. Once again, this is stored energy from applying a force to deform or compress an elastic object. So you have to put force into something and then by deforming it, it wants to push back and go back to its normal form. So if you push down on a string and you let it go, what's going to happen? Okay, so before you let go, that's the elastic potential energy right there. It has the potential to move, and when you move it, when it moves by itself to go back to its normal shape, that's that elastic potential energy turning into something else. Same thing with a rubber band. If you deform it and stretch it, it wants to move, but it's not moving yet. The second you let go, that elastic potential energy will turn into kinetic energy and fly across the room. Same thing with a bow and arrow. You have to deform that string, and as long as you're holding it, it has elastic potential energy. The second you let go, though, it's going to transform into kinetic energy once again. All right? Go ahead and open up your worksheet. There are some questions that you had to watch this video to figure out. Other ones, not as much. If you need questions, let me know. But tomorrow, what we're going to look at more into are the types of kinetic energy. And then we're going to start talking about how they transform, and you're going to start giving me examples. All right? Good luck. Have a great day. Bye.